candidate unveils her Medicare for All plan. Those Baltimore tweets continue to make headlines, and a New York Times op-ed predicts some distressing news for the economy.
So Team Rising is here. Stephen Cobb, former Deputy Attorney General of Virginia, was appointee under President Barack Obama, and Henry Rogers is Capitol Hill reporter over at The Daily Caller. Welcome to you both.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right, so we've got these tweet situation all weekend, and I think this morning the president has been railing against Baltimore and Elijah Cummings. People are calling it racist. What do you think, Stephen?
I think it is racist. I think it's deflating. I think it's deplorable. And most of all, it's sad. Here we are once again talking about the president using his social media platform to lash out at somebody with seemingly no provocation, no reason, no substantiation,
well,
and going
the oversight committee and the
someone doing their job. Someone doing their job.
That's one way.
I mean, at least one of the two of them is trying to do their job.
Oh, what do you think, Henry?
Well, so Cummings has been sending these subpoenas and joining up with this team of Democrats to basically harass anybody who's ever worked for the president without any wrongdoing. He's found no guilt with anyone, essentially. And here he is of being offended by some tweets that the president is sending out tweets talking about how
I don't get why it's racist to call Baltimore is not a nice place.
So you think the tweets were appropriate?
I'm not saying it was appropriate. I don't know why he's doing it, but why? Why is it racist to say that parts of Baltimore, particularly West Baltimore, it has been a Democratic talking point. Michael Moore used to go around Flint, Michigan saying, this looks like Fallujah.
Yeah,
why don't we build?
Exactly.
Okay, but hold on. There's such a difference between standing in solidarity with a community and looking for change and bashing an American city that happens to be majority African American.
He also bashed San Francisco this weekend.
This is the president of the United States. If you don't like the way these cities are going, then do something about it.
I agree with you. I agree with that. I think he should do more about that.
And I think that's fair. Yeah. But so should Elijah Cummings, right?
He's one member of Congress.
I know.
Let's
be
real.
powerful member.
These are generational, systematic racism that has led to this result.
He's simply pointing out, listen, there are some
awful preposterous. The chairman of House Government Oversight is doing his job. The president doesn't like that. He gets thin-skinned, so he goes on Twitter rants, which happen to be disproportionately focused at people of color who are Democrats.
Which is consistent with his behavior over his life, I should point out. But I want to ask the question, being that we have two non-people of color on the panel,
right.
Let's move away from whether it's racist and ask the question, is it, which I kind of hate, but people are like, oh, this is great political strategy, which I completely disagree with. Number one, I think it's bad for the country, but number two, there was polling done after the last tweets and attacks on the squad, and the American people were like, we don't like this. We're not down for this. This isn't what we want you to be focused on. Do you think this is a smart strategy?
I think it does get some of his base riled up, and again, some of his base does not like to even get involved in polling at all, and they hop out of the woodwork at the last second here. Now, listen. I've said multiple times on this show. Do I like when Trump tweets? No. I think it's always chaos. Do I here to defend Trump's tweets? No. Do I like defending Trump's tweets? No. But it's part of this thing. It's just become so normal. It's become so normal now. It's a normal thing for this president to come out and say, listen, he doesn't like this guy, he's going to tweet it out.
Well, here's the thing. What is I just don't understand. It feels like actually a pretty good suburban political issue to point out that Baltimore, San Francisco, and a lot of major American cities are basically unlivable at this point for a family, for you to feel legitimately safe. What's crazy about that?
Well, one, I think it's hyperbole. One, two. There's a difference between saying there's areas here where we can make improvements, and here are my ideas, as opposed to going on ad hominem rantings.
No, you're right.
But to Crystal's point, what we see here is a practice from the president over and over again, where there is substantive critique on he and his administration, then he takes a right turn toward an ad hominem Twitter ranting to distract the public from those substantive critiques. Right. You see it time and time again. So I'm not surprised that after a week that was focused on a Mueller report, that he goes off the deep end on personal attacks.
Well, Stephen, let me ask you, hold on, the lessons from Virginia, because we saw a candidate run here who really intentionally played into this Trump model and tried to stoke racial tensions. I was thinking Corey Stewart. We had a few of them. But he failed. But they failed miserably. And so in terms of thinking this is a smart strategy for the suburbs, wasn't in Virginia.
Not in the Commonwealth, not at all.
Well, but Ed Gillespie got more votes than the previous Republican. I think it was more the fact that the Democrats just turned out at a much higher rate. So it's not like it didn't work necessarily.
he still lost.
Yeah, he did.
So
he did lose. Absolutely.
It's hard to say it worked when it was a losing strategy.
Well, I'm saying he didn't cost him votes necessarily. He got more votes than the previous Republican nominee. I think even whenever he ran for Senate, it was just the Democrats turned out. There were a lot of problems.
And also, when you compare election to election, turnout continues to increase. So to say you got more than the last person who lost is only.
Oh, sure. I mean, I think it's interesting that he lost.
People don't want to feel like they're supporting a blatant racist.
No.
You can go too far for this stuff. And I'm not going to say that America is so far along that we will, abhor any racism. Clearly, that's not the case. People do not want to feel like they are actually supporting overt racism, which is what this is starting to feel
I don't think this is overt racism. I was just in San Francisco. I saw a woman shoot heroin into her neck in broad daylight. That's not okay. It's wrong. And there's nothing wrong with calling it out. In Baltimore, there are many of the same problems.
Oh, yeah.
And to see all this preening about how, like I said, people from the inner harbor, you go to the inner harbor and you say Baltimore is a great city. I'm sorry, this is ridiculous.
Do you think the president's tweets were focused on his genuine concern for urban America?
I don't.
Then let's stop that. That's not even.
But that's what I mean. I mean, all these people who are preening in the other direction, and it's just maddening to watch it. And it's like you said, Henry.
What?
And we have to come up here and be like, wait, actually, Baltimore's not great.
It's the rationalization of horrible tweets. Says, but maybe there's some underlying point there that we can grasp onto.
There is an underlying point. Yeah.
But he's not after the underlying
Every
point.
time I've been to Baltimore, it's been a disaster. I've seen someone selling drugs. I've seen people pass on the street, overdose on drugs. I see crime rates.
Have you called on the president to fix those things?
We wish he would.
I call on the president right now to fix these things.
Yeah, I agree with you. I couldn't agree more with you, Henry. Yeah,
my mother's from Baltimore. My brother lives in Baltimore. I'm a proud graduate of University of Maryland. There's a lot of pride in that town. Doesn't mean that there's not areas to continue to work on, but the president's tweets were out of bounds. You have ideas to fix inner city Baltimore or any other city, great. You're going to find people on both sides of the aisle ready to work at it.
You're right.
You're ready to take ad hominem attacks. We should all condemn it regardless of your political affiliation.
And I think the telling sign is the way the people of Baltimore responded. They didn't say,
100%.
oh, great, finally someone's focused on our city. Not at all.
Fair point.
We got more we want to get to with you guys. Stick around. We'll be back right after this.